Everybody, Dan Holstein here, helping your business take flight. And I'm really excited today because I am interviewing Peter Boolkah, the transition guy, one of the world's top business coaches. He's beaming in from the UK today. So welcome, Peter.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you for having me. How are you?
Doing really well, thanks. And yourself?
Yeah, doing epic. Thank you.
Yeah, epic. Good, good. So, what are we going to talk about today? There's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's fear. Business owners aren't sure what they should be doing. What's your take on how do we, as business owners, keep the eye on where we were going, our long-range plans of what we're setting out to do in 2020 and beyond, while still being able to take action now? Because there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't necessarily know what's going to happen next month and the next quarter, but we need to keep our eye on what we're setting out to do long-term, but we have to act now. We have to act short-term. So what's the best advice that you've got on how to maintain those two different focal points?
Well, I think, okay. So first and foremost, when you look at your 2020 plan, probably rip that up and put that in the bin, because the rules have drastically changed. Unfortunately, as much as we had all the best intentions, it's changing at such a pace. We don't have the data in front of us right now to work out exactly what we're doing. So what I would probably say, we have to keep an eye on long-term trends, i.e., how do we see the markets evolving, the markets that are coming out of lockdown, for example. How are they coming out of lockdown? What is the best practice coming out of lockdown? What are we noticing? What are we seeing? So I think we need to learn from other markets, because we're not all coming out of lockdown at the same time.
Right.
So that's first and foremost, Dan. And secondly, right now, the biggest job of any business is literally, what I would say, is to just make sure that we've got the foundation strong. Make sure that you take all the government schemes that are available to you and secure your funding. Get the cash in there, make sure you've got cash. Because you can have the best laid plans in the world, but if you've got no cash to execute it, you're dead in the water anyway.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to do everything you can right now to secure your cash. And as the markets start to develop, you start looking at how is it going to affect you. And then you can start looking at more the execution planning. What does that look like? What do you need to change? An example, I mean, a lot of people in the UK were talking about the fact that lockdown's probably we're not going to come out of lockdown for a little while still. But it's not the first lockdown that we're concerned about. It's the potential. People are sort of drawing the parallels between this and the Spanish flu. And the challenge is, if we get that second wave, the job now is to make sure that when that second wave comes, we have sufficiently altered our business model so we can continue to trade. Because I do not believe that the governments will be in a position to afford us the level of support they have done this time round, next time round.
Right. And what I'm hearing a lot of business owners say is, there's a lot of great government support, and it varies by country, of course, even provincially, state-wise, that a lot of the support for business owners is in the form of loans. And I'm hearing that people don't want to get more debt. What would you say to business owners that are nervous about taking advantage of one of the government loans that are on offer?
Okay. I mean, most countries are talking about it being interest-free for 12 months. The question is, okay, listen, right now, we're in a tough situation. It's unprecedented. It's either going to be you make decisions or you're going to go bust. So you've got to decide whether or not really your business can make it through. Are you confident in backing yourself? Because the reality is cash is king. Now, you could say, okay, I'm nervous taking out debt. Are you nervous taking out the debt or nervous paying back the debt? They're two different things. And if your business isn't strong enough at this moment, you need to look at your business model. What does your business need to look like so that you can comfortably borrow the money and pay it back? Now, I've got a lot of clients that don't need the money per se, but what they're doing, they're taking the money anyway and they're leaving it in a separate account. Because what's the worst thing that can happen? At the end of 12 months, you just give it back.
Yeah.
But what if there's that fantastic opportunity that if you had the cash, you could take advantage of it, but you never applied for that loan, so you never get the opportunity? How sad would that be?
That's a really great point. And, there's the old adage that, the Chinese characters for crisis is danger and opportunity. And I did a little research on this, and it turns out it's actually danger and change point. So things changing. And I think the opportunity can be within a change. That's a great point that you make about being cashed up so that you can take advantage of opportunities. Do you think that there's going to be a lot of opportunity coming out of this in terms of acquisition and businesses that maybe aren't going to make the grade, or the business owners are going to be saying, "Hey, I don't want to go through another one of these, and I'm going to I'd like to sell"?
Absolutely. Every single recession is the same thing. Yeah, different circumstances, but the same thing. You're going to have companies out there that have been waiting 3 or 4 years for this to happen. And you could say, well, it's like taking advantage of the vulnerable. It's not, it's just a circle of business life. That's all I can say. It's always going to happen. It's never going to change. People are going to go bust when it comes to a recession. And there's going to be companies out there ready to purchase. And that's the way it goes.
Kind of the way I look at that is, if there's businesses that are sort of challenged, if they're not getting the support that they need to move forward, there's going to be good people at those businesses. And if the business can't survive, it's going to be an opportunity for acquisition. Those people's jobs are going to be saved, and likely the business owner would come along. So it could be helpful for them. It's unfortunate they're not able to move forward on their own. But if there are people out there looking to acquire, I mean, it's going to be jobs saved, and families that are safer because a breadwinner is out on the street trying to look for work. They're going to have work still.
Yeah, and I like the old saying: the easiest way to increase your revenue by $1 million is to buy a $1 million business for $1, and that's it. There are going to be businesses that have got huge turnover, that have been badly capitalized, that are going to go bust, and you're going to be able to pick it up for a steal. Yeah. That's what people are going to do. People are queuing up, waiting. It's no different with real estate. You've seen it with real estate. We've had a big bubble for a long, long time. There's going to be a price correction. People that have got the cash, they're going shopping.
Yeah, so it's about being cashed up, looking for those opportunities, and being able to take advantage of those opportunities when they happen. So it's looking for the benefit, keeping focused on what the benefit could be, the opportunity, while you're watching the trends and keeping track of what's happening to try to pivot as you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this has been great, Peter. Thanks so much for taking the time to connect here. It's been excellent to be learning with you and strategizing and sharing some of these ideas. I'm looking forward to being able to share this with other business owners.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And to everyone tuning in, all the best. It's going to be a mixture of tough times, but also there are some great opportunities. If you look for them, you could come out of this stronger than ever.
Awesome. Great advice as always, Peter. Thanks so much.
Thank you.